What can I say about our creators that have not already been said by the many other content creators that have made content in this game? I don't think I can say anything that has not been said already, but I still wanted to add my thoughts because I am obsessed with this game. I am currently depressed since the tech test ended, and I don't know what to do with myself. I might go torture myself by going back to playing Destiny 2. We shall see if I will stoop that low. But I was able to get into this tech test and play the game during this past 4, 5-ish days, and I had a blast every single time I went into this game. Now, I see a lot of people talking about how this game feels different. It feels better than Marathon, not to point out any names. And I believe that is the what makes this game so different. What makes it feel so fun to play, so interesting, is the setting. I think the world that they have created, it's so special, and it really connects with everybody that has tried to play this game. And if I think most people know by now, especially if people that have been following this game, but this game got announced, I believe it was 2021, and I've been wanting to play it ever since. Back then, this game was supposed to be a looter shooter, and this was supposed to be Embark's first game instead of the finals. And I think that is why this game feels so different than normal extraction shooters. I might be saying something completely obvious right now, but I still wanted to point this out in case this wasn't clear to people. Because if you're building a looter shooter, just think of, Destiny, even I guess Warframe. They have these big open maps for you to go explore in, go fight enemies in. They have all this lore that goes along with it. So if Embark was planning on making this a looter shooter at first, and of course they pivoted to the extraction shooter, I think a couple years after that initial announcement, or maybe a year after the initial announcement, they would not have started from scratch completely. Now, I'm not a game dev, but I don't think that you would just throw away everything you've worked on just because you're changing the genre of your game. You would try to find ways of incorporating what you already have made into this new genre. So if they already had plans for the maps, the zones, the loot, they would have tried to work around that and build it into an extraction game, if that makes any sense. So I believe that the setting, the world, the maps were already obviously not finished, but they were already there somewhat. And I think that might be why this game feels so different. It feels like it stands out from other extraction games. They had worked on all this world building. They had all these plans for the world, the setting, how things were going to look, the general vibes, for lack of a better term. And they just stuck with those that they had already decided on and just built it into an extraction game instead. So that's the main thing that I think makes this game stand out so much. Because when you go into one of the maps, it's not just, oh, I'm rushing in, fighting all these players, blah, blah, blah. You're in this world that's not your own. It's dominated by these machines. It's not, oh, all these players are fighting for loot. It's more, you are fighting for your own survival. If you run into other players, you might have to fight them off. And then, if you're lucky enough to get to extraction, you might be able to make it out of there with some loot. That's really how this game is built, especially with how difficult the AI enemies are meant to be. They are not at all easy to deal with. Some of them are, obviously, like the robots, the spider bots, whatever those are called. But other enemies, such as the Rocketeer, can be quite challenging and nearly impossible to run away from if you're not in the right area. You might see later in this gameplay what I'm talking about with the Rocketeers specifically. Now, I do feel like this game sometimes has slow moments, which I think I'm not super familiar with extraction games, but I do feel like it might be part of the genre because you're trying to be so careful. You're trying to see, oh, is there going to be somebody right around the corner that's just going to blast me in the face, or what's going to happen? So you're trying to be careful, and it makes it slow everything down a little bit. But it really is not a problem in this game, in my opinion. Sure, it slows everything down if you're watching, looking for signs of robots or signs of other players, but that builds the suspense. At least it did for me. Maybe I'm just easily susceptible. Who knows? But that just was just building the suspense for me. So then when a robot did come, it was not a jump scare, but it was nearly I was in high alert already because I was sneaking around, watching for players and such. And when a player came around, that was just it. It was just nuts. And I'm not the greatest PvP player, so I did die quite a few times. And even then, I surprisingly, surprising to myself, I did not get frustrated about losing my loot and stuff. They built the loot system and the crafting system in such a way that it doesn't feel like it's a huge mountain to climb for you to get geared again. And I will point out, this is probably because this was a tech test and everybody started on the same page. So if when the game comes out and you lose everything that you have, and then you're trying to build back up going against players that have epic gear and all these crazy weapons, it might feel frustrating, but we don't know because we're not there yet, right? But right now, at least during this test, it did not feel very frustrating. It was decently easy to just go in, grab some, not trash, but some random resources, come extract safely, and then be able to build something. The game also has a nice vendor system that you can buy stuff if you find yourself with enough cash. And that is in-game money, not real-life money. I do like the speaking of money, I do like the battle system, the battle pass system. It's a lot like Helldivers, if not exactly the same. And I hope that Arc Creators has a good system for earning premium currency, because that would just make it just perfect, in my opinion. I've heard this from many other people, both random people and people that I know, that this game could already be out as is, and I fully agree. I've never seen a game that is this polished, this flashed out, that is not already released, which is an amazing feat in and of itself from Embark. So I definitely think this game could come out today, it could come out tomorrow, it could come out 5 minutes from now, and it would be successful already. But if I don't know when they're planning on releasing this, but if they have even more time to cook on this game, I can't even imagine what they could add to this and the improvements they can make if there's anything there to improve. But yeah, it's just mind-blowing to me that they were able to put this game out in a tech test in this state. Just incredibly polished. And now this is what I was talking about with the Rocketeers earlier. Incredibly difficult to run away or hide from them. And the game, something that I believe it's from extraction shooters, offer these moments like this. I got blown away by the Rocketeer. My teammate was called Extraction. He's already in the elevator waiting for me. And I am slowly making my way, crawling there. And you're going to see what happens next, but the suspense and the AI enemies being so difficult, mixed with real-life players that you can run into, just makes such a great mix of PvE and stealth and PvP that I think it's just something that no other game has nailed like this. And I think that's the other reason why this game is so special. And here you can see I'm about to get to extraction finally. The Rocketeer is blasting my teammate and this other random player that joined in extraction. And they both get downed inside extraction. And I'm able to get to the computer right before I bleed out, start the elevator going, and we safely extract at the last second. I will 100% be making more content in this game, so like and subscribe if you want to follow that, and I will see you in the next one.